and welcome inside Glendale High School. Ethan Jordan, Seth Asselson alongside you for the final home game of the season for the Glendale Gauchos here on the Gauchos live stream as they take on Phoenix Community College. Now, Seth, this game is just more than a ceremony for these sophomores. We saw the ceremony from Lisa Stuck, terrific, recognizing her sophomores as they play their last home game, but this has playoff implications to it.
That's right. So if Glendale wins, they're in to the Division II Region 1 playoffs. Now, if Phoenix College wins and they win against Chandler Gilbert tomorrow night, they would have the same record as Glendale. Now, the key comes down to who finishes first. If Scottsdale finishes first, then Glendale's in. But if Mesa finishes first, Phoenix is in because Mesa swept Glendale, and Phoenix College was able to pick up victory. So we're underway here at Glendale Community College. Now here's a swing that's into a block and down. That was a block set up there by Law Liberty and Oriana Montoya. And so Glendale, exactly what they needed, which was the first point of the game. Now here comes a serve from Kylie Smith. It's a low line drive that goes off the hands, and it's going to fall. That goes up the hands of Henry Usoro. And the score is now 2-0.
2 big points to start the game. You get off to the early momentum start, but the big key here is one coming off the block, one coming off the serve. 2 points that have been a little bit of a struggle for the Gauchos this season.
And almost real bad mishandle, but it's kept well by Phoenix College, and they get the ball to the Glendale side. Now a swing into a block by La Liberty, but it goes out of bounds off a Phoenix College hand. And now we're at 3-0. This is exactly the start they needed.
Yeah, no question. Get the momentum on your side early, something they've struggled to do in past games. Win this first set if they can, and they've started out strong so far.
And now there's a swing that goes off the net, so that's going to be 4 hits. That was from the sophomore Julissa Caresosa, and so it's 4-0. And for a do-or-die game for Phoenix College, they're coming out a little flat right now. It doesn't look like they have any energy. Now Kylie Smith, another good serve. That's not handled well, but it's going to be well enough for Phoenix to get it over the net. Now Kylie Smith to Montoya. Now there's a swing into a block, but it falls on the Phoenix College side, and it's 5-0.
This may be an obvious point, but you can't start off any better than this. I mean, a 5-0 run, you look for a 5-point run anytime in the ball game, much less at the beginning.
You're right, and we've seen Glendale struggle to start games and start sets as now Valdez dives after a ball that was hit to the back row, and she keeps it alive. And now it's going to be played by Phoenix. Now there's a swing that's going to hit the court. And that was a pretty good swing going cross court there for Phoenix. And it looked like it was caffeine, and now the score at 5-1.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that if you're Glendale. The blockers were up. She just worked it right in between the blockers and the antenna there.
And so now a serve from Phoenix College, and Glendale's going to handle it well. Here's a swing by Montoya that goes up the hands of Usoro. And Usoro, what looked like a ball was going to go way too far for the boundary. She stuck her hands up, touched it, and it didn't go straight up. It went even farther behind her head, and nobody was able to get to it. And it's 6-1.
Yeah, just kind of rolling off the hands. That's where you want to point your thumbs up towards the ceiling to play it off the hands there.
And now there's a quick tip that's handled by Jasmine Smith on the Glendale side. Now it's Montoya's swing, and that's going to fall. And now it's 7-1, and Phoenix College looks a little stunned right now. So Glendale up 7-1. It's going to be Tregoboff on the serve. Tregoboff gets the signal, now serves left to right. Handled by Phoenix College. Now it's going to be set up in a good swing that goes off the top of the block and falls on the Glendale side from Valdez. Score now 7-2.
Yeah, no chance to dig that one there. When a hitter can find the back corners right in the corner like that, impossible to get to for the back row players.
So now the serve by Valdez, who was the one that got the kill on the last point. Now there's a good line drive serve that gets to Valdez, but she handles it. Now a swing that doesn't get down from Montoya as there's a good diving attempt by Jennings. Now the ball gets over. Doyle ranges back to get it, gets it to Kylie Smith. Now to Jasmine Smith. It goes off the hands of the block, but it's going to be Glendale again with another setup as Montoya gets it over. Now here comes a swing that doesn't get down. And it's going to be a swing for Jasmine Smith, and that gets down. The score now 8-2.
That all started with a poor set on the previous play for Phoenix. It was just set up too far outside and a mishit due to the poor set.
So now 8-2, Glendale leading this first set in a match they need. As now it's La Liberty who gets it over the net. That's not going to get down, and so Phoenix is going to be able to get an opportunity. And it's good, and that'll like it come from Kelsey Freemark. Score now 8-3.
It looked like Law Liberty might have a play on that ball, but Talisa Valdez, or Maya Doyle, excuse me, did the right thing as the outside player. When it's in like that, you want to pinch in and go get that ball.
Now Kylie Smith's going to set up Montoya. That's going to go off the hands of Isabel Valdez of Phoenix. Oh, and a horrible miscommunication between Freemark and Julissa Carizosa leads to the Gauchos' 9th point and a 6-point lead. Now coming in is Jessica Taylor. Like you talked about at sophomore night, and this is a sophomore we hadn't seen too much other than relieving Kylie Smith. And with the score 93, maybe Coach Stuck trying to get some play for the players that haven't seen the court too much. But like we talked about in the open, this isn't a for sure, not only a for sure win, but it's not a for sure that Glendale's going to the playoffs, so they really need to be careful. As now there's a swing that's going to get down from Jasmine Smith. Now it's 10-3. And Ethan, I don't know if you've noticed, but there just seems no life on Phoenix. They seem to be a bit sluggish, and the bench is real quiet and kind of somber.
Yeah, give some credit to Glendale. They came out strong, and I think you said it. They kind of stunned them with how quickly they came out to play this game. Set here for Henry Osuro, dug out by the Gauchos. Back row hit coming here to the baseline. And it's Freemark. Excellent dig by Valdez as she dives to the line. Now it's Freemark again. This time Taylor handles it, and a violation called against Glendale.
Yeah, it's going to be a double hit violation. That's really unfortunate because twice in that rally, Valdez just sticks her hands out. Not even dives, she just sticks her hands out and keeps it alive. And that's the kind of play the Gauchos need for the playoffs. Is Jessica Taylor's going to have to come over and help out a Valdez pass that she had to handle rather quickly. Now there's a swing right at Jessica Taylor, and that's going to get down. And the score is now at 10-5. So now serving for Phoenix is going to be Gemina Carizosa. There's the serve, and it gets over the net, handled there by Tregoboff. Now a swing that goes cross court. It's too much for the boundary, a little too wide. And the score now 10-6.
A little high and a little too far outside on the set for Jasmine Smith's liking.
And now here is the serve, that is, excuse me, and Jasmine Smith gets it over, and it's going to be a double hit on Jasmine Smith. And quickly the score now 10-7. And here comes another serve from Jamina Carizosa. It's a floater that gets to Jasmine Smith. She gets it to Jessica Taylor. Now a swing there by Glidewell. That doesn't get down, and Phoenix handles it well. Now it's sent over there by Carizosa. That's Julissa. Now a swing that gets down from Defer. Score now 11-7.
Perfect way to handle the free ball that time from Glendale. You get the free ball, and that's when you're going to have your best swing. It's like having a 3-0 count. They handled it perfectly that time.
Now Jasmine Smith on the serve for Glendale. Not handled all that well, but Phoenix is going to swing it into the net. As Coffeen had a chance to get the ball over, and she couldn't, and she swings into the net.
Yeah, no fault of Coffeen there. That was a poor set by Valdez. Far too low, and Coffeen no chance to hit that over.
And now there's a serve. It's handled there by Henry Usoro, and it's not a great pass, and it's going to be tipped down there by Glidewell. Score now 13-7, so when it looked like the Bears were going to get some life into this game, they have been pulled right out of it, and now they're going to get a timeout. And so Glendale up 13-7 in this do-or-die game, exactly where they need to be. We'll be back here with the season finale on the Gauchos live stream. Welcome back here to Gauchos live stream. Seth Askelson along with Ethan Jordan. Glendale leading the first set 13-7, and a serve off the net gets down. And now the score is the 14-7. And so 14-7. Glendale, in this match, they win, they're in. That's simple. And so Jasmine Smith gets it over. It's handled there by Usoro. And so Kari Sosa is going to get it over the net. That time it was Julissa. Now a double hit. And Glendale right now, we've seen them at least on 4 occasions get a double hit violation against them. How do they avoid that?
Yeah, it really kind of just a strange occurrence. You don't usually see all that many double hit violations throughout a match, especially ones where they're kind of wide open like this. It's usually when there's some more confusion, as here's a set for Tregeboff off the block, and it falls in. And now 15-8 Gauchos.
Like you said, it's really weird to see that many, especially when the passes are good. It's not like they're running into the net and trying to pull it out. They're pretty much middle of the court and really easy to handle, and hasn't killed the Gauchos too much so far, but that's definitely something you want to clean up, as there was a good serve there. And now Phoenix getting an opportunity, and now let's swing. Oh, it just gets down in the back. Thought it was out, but the line judge a little closer than we are, and she calls it in. So the score is now 15-9.
Great pass by Henry Osura on a good serve from Teresa Valdez.
And now here comes another serve from Usoro. She gets it over. Jasmine Smith handles it. Gives it to Jessica Taylor to La Liberty. She swings. That's not going to get down. Now it's going to be a try there for Phoenix. And a great play by Taylor Glidewell. That swing from Julissa Garisosa off the block. And it's up high enough for Glidewell to find it and knock it in the hole in the defense.
Yeah, just terrific awareness from Glidewell. You can go up, sometimes go up for the block or go up from your head and be like, oh, I'm done here. Glidewell really alert on that play.
Now here's the serve from Kylie Smith. Little confusion on handle it by Jamina Carisosa, but Phoenix gets the ball over the net, and now Montoya has to range over to get it. Now it's sent over the net, and running into each other is Julissa Carisosa and Usoro. And now there's a double hit violation on Phoenix. The score 17-9, and Coach Stock has to be mildly pleased with how our team has started.
Yeah, no question. The energy that they've come out with has been terrific.
Now Phoenix handles a good serve there again from Kylie Smith. And there's a violation, and it's going to go point Phoenix.
Booming hit that time. The block was just misplaced. When you're blocking, you want to block on the swinging arm of the player. That's where you kind of want to line up your block. It just misplaced in a free swing.
As now Glendale trying to get that point back. It's swung over, and it goes high off the block, and Phoenix handles it. Now Usoro gets it over. Dive by Valdez, and Melfi doesn't agree with that. As now Phoenix is going to get another opportunity. There's a swing that goes off the block and out of bounds on Glendale's side. And now it's 17-11, still in favor of Glendale. And we're going to get a timeout by Glendale. So in the first set, Glendale 17-11 over the Phoenix College Bears. We'll be back here with the remainder of the first set on the Gauchos live stream. Welcome back to Gauchos live stream. Seth Askelson along with Ethan Jordan, and Glendale needing this win to get into the playoffs. They're up 17-11 in the first set. Valdez is going to handle a serve from Phoenix College. Now there's a swing cross court that's too wide of the boundary, coming in towards Ethan Jordan, who was so focused on the game he almost got knocked in the head. And so now it's 17-12. We've had some close calls, and when you're down on the court, it's going to happen. We've seen a lot of balls come this way. As now Kylie Smith's going to get it over there to Tregeboff. Is a little behind her, so she probably didn't get all that she wanted on it. Either way, it's over. And a great job by Kylie Smith. Jasmine Smith punched it just off the court, and now there's going to be a violation. And it's going to be a double hit. Jasmine Smith, all she could do is punch the ball up just a little bit, and then Kylie Smith comes diving in to keep that alive, and because of that, Glendale gets a point.
Yeah, we're always talking about the Smith combination. Usually it's on a set to a swing, but that time on the pass to the set.
Now there is a tip over the net, and Kylie Smith could have been called for a double hit. Doesn't count. And a great swing causes Jamina Carisosa to dive and dig that out. And because she couldn't get a great hit on it, it gets down, and we're going to get a timeout from Phoenix.
Yeah, how about the back row hit from Jasmine Smith that time? Normally, that wasn't the design of the play at all, but kind of improvising, able to still get a good swing on the ball.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't the greatest pass in the world, but still a great swing. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream. Glendale leading 19-12 in the first set in a do-or-die game. Welcome back here to Gauchos live stream, 19-12 in favor of Glendale over Phoenix College. And a good serve from Glendale. Now there's a little tip over the defense, and Jasmine Smith aware to turn around off the block and knock it high enough to get Kylie Smith over there, but now her swing hits the net, and it's now 19-13. Now serving is Isabel Valdez for Phoenix College. She gets a signal and is now serving right to left. Good line drive serve that Talisa Valdez has to handle. And now Montoya, all she can do is get it over the net. She doesn't really get a swing on it. Now there's a swing from Phoenix College. That's Kelsey Freemark. The score now 19-14.
The block wasn't there in time on that swing, allowing for the free lane.
Like you said, it's been a couple of times where the block for Glendale just hasn't been there. And then right now it might work against a team that has a little less talent, but when you get into the playoffs, you got to be there on every block. Is Maya Doyle has to handle a serve that hits the net, and a diving attempt by Henry Soto wasn't good enough to keep the ball alive, and the score now 20-14.
The backcourt for these Gauchos tonight has been absolutely spectacular. Talisa Valdez and Maya Doyle are getting it done, and the other players when in rotation going back there have been excellent as well.
Now here's the serve from Law Liberty. She gets it over the net, and it's not handled well again by Henry Soto. And the score now 21-14. We saw it in this season, and I think you see a lot of it in volleyball gyms across the country, but one player getting picked on a serve. And right now it's Henry Soto for Phoenix, and we'll see if it's at her again. Oh, it's out the net, and this time it's at Jamina Carisosa. Now the ball goes over. It's handled by Law Liberty to Kylie Smith to Montoya. The ball is behind her, but she does just enough to get it past the block and down.
Yeah, Kylie Smith, an extra hard high five to Montoya that time, bailing her out. The set wasn't perfect, but Montoya able to work with it.
You're right, Montoya's able to work with it and just found that empty space in the defense. So now it's 22-14. Almost blows up Jamina Carisosa, but she handles it. That serve did. Now La Liberty handles it, but it wasn't good. And it's going to Phoenix. Off, and it's for Freemark. Thought she had touched the net, but looks like she was able to stay out of it. But at least according to the ones that mattered most, and they're in gray tonight. As now here comes a serve from Julissa Carisosa. Now it's set up there, and it's out of play from Defer, and Coach Stuck is very unhappy. Oh, wait a second. No, they're saying that was tipped. And Melfi's going to ask a few questions here, and I don't think I saw it tipped either.
It looked very close from my angle. The ref was looking around. He said he might have saw it at the guy in the tower. So from my angle, it looked like it could have gone either way. That was very close.
Yeah, and we saw something like that happen earlier as there's a serve in to Jessica Taylor serving to the net, but we saw that earlier with Glendale against Scottsdale, where it looked like Montoya got a ball wiped off the block and she didn't, so maybe a little late season payback for Glendale, and they'll take it. They're up 23 to 16 now, and now a swing that gets over the net, cross court, doesn't get down, now a swing into a block. It's Julissa Carizosa that's found a pair of Glendale defenders at the top of the net. That gets down, and now it's set point. And very interesting to note, after that, the one that went against Phoenix College, it originally looked like it was going to PC, and Coach Stuck, as there's a serve that's out of bounds, Coach Stuck got up and very demandingly asked for a timeout. She looked extremely unhappy, and then when that point went to her, she just didn't need that timeout anymore, evidently. She thought her team was playing well enough, I guess. And so at least she got the chance to correct it. Oh, and miscommunication there between Jennings and Isabel Valdez. I don't know what happened, but it looked like Jennings, who that ball, it was supposed to be hers. She just kind of watched it come to her at the last second and tried to knock it up.
It wasn't a particularly strong swing. The set was behind defer, and she just kind of leaned back and just got it over the net. So, as you said, Seth, just a miscommunication.
So Glendale picking up the first set. Only need 2 more.
Hello and welcome back to Glendale Community College. Ethan Jordan alongside Seth Asselson bringing you the season finale here for the Glendale Gauchos. In a game, if they win, they're in to the playoffs. Should they beat the Phoenix Bears here tonight? They already have gotten started doing that, winning the first set. So we'll see second set of action on the way as Saviano Henry Osuro will get set to serve it away for the Bears. Osuro with the standing serve, maybe a little jump there as Valdez with this pass that's in over the net, and putting it back down is Caffeine out of the reach of Smith, and the first point of this set goes to the Bears. Just an errant pass that time from Valdez, who's been terrific through the first set. Osuro's second serve of the evening, or I should say of the set, as Smith going into the net to get that one, but they're going to say she hit it twice, and now 2-0 in favor of Phoenix. Gauchos trying to break the serve of Osuro here to begin the second set. And here it comes from the freshman. Smith to La Liberty in the middle, blocked back to the Gauchos side of things. Montoya this time towards the middle. Diving dig made by Valdez. Valdez to Tregaboff. This one blocked at the net, but out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Gauchos.
Yeah, and Glendale right now, it seems like they're very resilient, something they need to have when they hit the playoffs. And for Glendale right now, they're not allowing Phoenix to gain any momentum. Even though they got the first 2 points in the set, they're going to get a chance to tie it up right here.
Serve from Tregaboff, dug cleanly by Phoenix. Swing from Valdez is tipped at the net. La Liberty with the punch towards the campfire, dug out by Osuro. Now a free ball here for Glendale. La Liberty to Smith, and Montoya hitting the net a bit with that swing. And Valdez a terrific dig in front of Smith. Now Montoya's just going to put it over for a free ball. So that goes weak side to Carrie Sosa and tipped at the net and out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Bears.
We talked about it pregame off air about how good Kylie Smith is. In that situation, she had to go all the way into the net and get that out. And that was a great set. And that's like normal for Kylie Smith. We talked about that. It's, you know, when Kylie Smith's gone, Glendale's going to have to find a setter just as good as her or even better. And it's going to be very, very hard to do that in recruiting.
Swing by Montoya, dug out. Carrie Sosa with the return swing. Not hit particularly hard, as off the block is the swing from La Liberty as she knocks it home for the kill. Free mark was there with the block, but it just rolled off her hands back onto the Phoenix side. Well, Liberty to do the serving now with her team down 2-3 here in the second set. The high toss and the jump serve here, and finding the baseline, an ace for Courtney La Liberty.
Oh man, it's game 1 of the World Series, and that looked like a 98-mile-per-hour fastball right there. That thing had some smoke coming off of it, and it hits perfectly on the back line.
Courtney Kershaw La Liberty now with the serve. And this is set weak side, and a perfect set and a perfect swing from Valdez as Smith tried to dig it on the line, but no one was getting to that one.
And you want to talk about having some smoke on it there. That was a hard hit ball from, I believe, yeah, it was Emily Jennings. And man, she ripped that ball. And it gave Phoenix the 4-3 lead, but only momentarily as that serves into the net. 4-4 now.
The rotation here as Montoya and Smith come out in favor of Taylor and Glidewell. We saw them play earlier in the first set. They both played very well. Taylor will do the serving. A double jump serve. Now a set to Freemark. Dug out by Taylor, but back into the net, and putting it home is Carasosa for the point. And Coach Stuck thought that Carasosa was swimming in the net that time. Referee didn't see it, however.
And Coach Stuck a little more polite about that asking than Melfi was last set. But I think she was right. That might have been a net violation.
Jasmine Smith with a booming hit from the back row as she comes into the B slot and hammers it home. We're tied at 5 now here in the second set at Glendale Community College. Gauchos up 1-0. A win here would send them to the playoffs. Pass headed to the net. Glidewell there for it as she puts it back the other way, but ball catches a piece of the net on the way down. Defer looking for the tip. Played well by Phoenix. Taylor with a pass to Glidewell. Sets far side to Tregaboff. And a block of the net by Defer, but that one just kind of rattled off her hands back into the net, and that'll be a point for the Bears.
And we've seen tonight Glendale coming off the block. If it gets over, they've been able to turn around and find that ball right there. That swing was so hard that when they turned around to find the ball, it was just out of their reach and it fell.
And an errant pass once again as Smith goes over the net. Taylor tried her best to get up there and block it, but no chance. Carasosa with the serve now. Swing by Defer is blocked at the net. Taylor a set for Tregaboff. Dug by Carasosa. Now Usura with the hit. Not hit particularly hard. And Glidewell, it's fine return hit off the hands of what looked like Jennings there, and that'll be a point for Glendale.
That was very odd because that ball came to Jennings and she popped it up high enough and nobody was on the right side of the court. I don't know. They were all setting up offense on the left side, but nobody was there on the right, and it just fell. And Jennings looked very annoyed by how that play ended.
Carasosa's swing dug out by Taylor. To Glidewell, now to back to the Phoenix side of things, and blocked at the net by La Liberty. Return on that from Jennings, and out of bounds as Taylor lets it go. And we're tied again at 7. It'll be Valdez once again to serve it. Valdez wearing the libero uniform tonight for Glendale. Going with the lighter touch on the serve. Played well here as Lisa Carasosa puts that one home. An errant pass from Valdez, though a tough dig that time.
Yeah, and Glendale has nobody paying attention for the ball shaggers over there as we finally get a ball over to the Phoenix server. And you can hear Coach Stuck yelling, I don't know if you could hear, but we could, that Valdez, she told Valdez to serve it right at Carasosa as that swing goes off the block from Glendale and back to their side for a point for Phoenix. We talked about earlier, people getting picked on the serve, and it looks like Coach Stuck right now looking at Carasosa.
I mean, when you spot the weaks, there's some players that just aren't better at passing. Carasosa more of a swinger, so when she's in the back court, that's when you take advantage as the pass from Tregaboff falls out of bounds. Valdez, a diving attempt at it, but in vain. And now it's 10-7 Bears. Jennings, a couple of bounces now into her jump serve. Smith with the dig. Glidewell trying to set Tregaboff, but this one takes Tregaboff into the net, and she can't make the play, and now 11-7 Bears. And a timeout called here by Coach Stuck.
You talk to Coach Stuck, you talk to any volleyball coach. We even talked about it another off-air pregame talk for us. How important passing is. It probably is the most important aspect of the game, and that one right there, it's the last 2 or 3 points have been a result of really bad passing. And a lot of Phoenix's point right now, it's not necessarily bad defense by Glendale, it's just they're trying to handle serves and even hard swings, and when they are, it's just coming right back to the net for a 50-50 ball, and Phoenix is the one that are putting them back home.
And oftentimes, even if the pass doesn't go into the net, you're seeing Glidewell having to take a lot of these sets, especially bump sets, and that's not what you want. First of all, you want your setter, Taylor, to be taking them, but also, if you're going to have someone set them, have them setting with the hands rather than the bump, but that's the way it's been so far here. 11-7 Bears here in the second set. Gauchos up 1-0. We'll stick with you here for the rest of this timeout. And Seth, we saw the Gauchos come out with a lot of energy, and then the Bears were able to make kind of a little bit of a run at the end of that first set, and it's starting to play out into the second set. How did the Gauchos get that energy back and finish off the second set?
I think it's just playing simple. What we saw at the beginning of the first set when they went up 5-0, they weren't doing anything fancy. They weren't doing this weird like weaving offense or anything. Getting those serves over the net, forcing errors by Phoenix, and really just good passes. And it's been the passes to haunt them so far in the second set.
Jennings on a streak with their serve. This one a lighter one, played by Smith. Tregaboff will hit this one off the block, and it falls in for the point.
And just like that, a good pass to Taylor. Then Taylor sets up Tregaboff, and she gets it home. So you can see when one good pass, you can get a great swing, and one bad pass can set up some bad offense.
Smith and Montoya back into the ball game as Kylie Smith will do the serving now. Dug by Carrie Sosa. A tip from Valdez, diving save by Tregaboff. And Kylie Smith's just going to bat this one over for a free ball. And a setter push here, and Tregaboff pushing it back the other way, but out of bounds. And another point for the Bears, now up 12-8.
Tregaboff seeing an opportunity. She got so excited that she just pushed it, opened her hips up a little early, and pushed it wide of the boundary. And that's unfortunate because that was a free ball for Glendale. I think they should have just settled down, set up their offense, and get that point.
Smith with a set to La Liberty. La Liberty, a booming hit, but nicely dug by Jennings. Now Smith on the return, digs it out for Glendale. Tregaboff going cross court. A dig by Carrie Sosa. Now the La Liberty at the 2 set. And a block goes back the other way, but Valdez therefore able to tip it where there weren't any Gauchos in the court, and that'll be a point for the Bears.
And again, Tregaboff really overzealous. She went up for the block and said it was a tip, and it was while she was coming down, so she couldn't get to that ball.
Just an excellent play to tip that one and hit it where they aren't for Phoenix. Tregaboff looking for the tip. This one hit down the line by Julissa Carriasosa, but out of bounds. And another point for Glendale, now down by 4. It'll be Tregaboff with the serve now. Serving from the strong side with the standing serve. And it's dug by Usuro. Now the set goes back to the weak side, and Valdez, the tip dug by Tregaboff. Jasmine Smith, a joust at the net with Caffeine that she'll win. Back to the Phoenix side of things. Valdez kind of olayed that pass there, and it's off her hands, out of bounds.
And Melfi saying that dig there by La Liberty was not up, but it was literally directly in front of us, and she got her hands just underneath it. And so Melfi might have had a gripe the last set, but that one for sure was up, and the referee even closer than we are right on top of it.
Smith with a cross-court set to Jasmine Smith. Jasmine Smith's swing hits the tape on the top of the net and rolls back the other way, and another point for the Bears.
And if Jasmine Smith could have got that to go off the net and fall on Phoenix's side, that was perfect because she hit it hard, and it was already going down. So if that got over the net, that was staying in for sure.
Doyle with the pass to Smith. They'll go to Montoya at the 2 set. Blockers setting up on the strong side as the swing by Carrioza gets over them. Dug out by Glendale. Jasmine Smith looking for the backcourt hit. Off balance that time. Can't get a clean swing on it and put back the other way by the Bears.
Feels like the Gauchos just need to settle down a little bit. A lot of times we saw Tregaboff a couple times go up a little early and make some early reads, and Jasmine Smith there trying to get that ball over so hard and fast that she hits the net. Jasmine Smith has to range over for it, and she gets to it, and Valdez sends it over. Now Phoenix College is going to get an opportunity. That's going to be set and punched by Cody Sosa, and that's going to get down for a Phoenix point. But Glendale really overzealous. And it's going to be timeout Glendale, but it seems like Glendale's really overzealous right now, just trying to find a way to close this game in 2 sets.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Tuck just trying to get her team reorganized. It almost seems like they're shooting from the hip a little bit, kind of playing some gym-style volleyball where you just improvise everything. That that doesn't work at this level. So Coach Stuck just going to try and get her girls reorganized, go back to their game plan that they came into this game with, and try and make a comeback here in this second set. Gauchos down.
And yeah, it was very interesting to see. Coach Stuck calls a timeout from a seated position and didn't move for the first half of that, first 30 seconds of that timeout, letting our players go players-only meeting. I think it's like we talked about. It doesn't seem like there's any technical or strategic things wrong with Glendale. It's just they're so amped up. They know if they win, they're in, and they played so well in that first set, and it seemed like they think, okay, all we got to do is try to get the momentum back. Like we talked about, and like I always say, it's not baseball. You can't get back in one swing. So one at a time, and we've seen Glendale start to mount some comebacks before, and especially if they get back the way they were playing in that first set, they could definitely make the second set interesting as it goes along.
Yeah, it's a matter of just breaking the other team's serve and then going on a serving streak of your own. Glendale will look to do that here. 17-9 Bears here in the second set. Glendale does have the advantage set-wise, up 1-0. Glendale, the Gauchos trying to bait Carly Coffeen's serve. She's been at the back line for quite a while, and they won't need to do anything as she hits this one into the net. And now a 7-point ball game here, 17-10. Now here's where you need to go on a streak of your own if you're Glendale. Courtney Law Liberty will do the serving. From the basketball baseline all the way up to the volleyball baseline with the jump serve. And Carrie Sosa, a clean hit that time. Law Liberty, that diving attempt, but no chance of that one. And now 7 points away are the Bears from winning this second set. Isabel Valdez, the server now. The southpaw setting up on her strong side, the weak side for the usual righty. As this is dug by Doyle into the net. Smith playing it out of the net. Good eye from Smith to see it out of the net, but her pass into the Gauchos bench. And now 19-10 Bears. So here's Valdez now. The jump serve. Smith and errant pass. This one to Coach Lisa Stuck, who doesn't look all that thrilled as she just kind of knocks it down. And now 20-10 in favor of Phoenix.
The only thing that moved was her left hand to knock that ball down. That's how unimpressed she is right now with her team. And even sliding in was Defer, and she didn't move an inch, even though Defer came crashing into both Glidewell and Stuck's knees. And that's just a bad pass, and that's like we said, bad passing can lead to some bad plays, and it's going to be the hook for Maya Doyle, at least for right now. Is coming in to replace her as Tregaboff.
Gauchos down 11 points here in the second set. A serve on the way from Valdez. Smith ranging into the backcourt to get that one. Jasmine Smith, all she could do was run up and try and bump that one over the net, but gets it into the net, and now 22-10. And Seth, we talk about this. Even if you lose this set by a margin, even if they lose it by 15, it's only 1 point on the scoreboard, and in reality, it's 1-1. You're still in this game if you're Glendale, and Defer hammers this one home off the hands of the libero, Jamina Carrizosa, for the point.
And Carrizosa, her facial reaction, that hit her so hard, and she just knew there's nothing she could really do about that one. There was no block, nothing to slow that down. That was just right at her, and she did the best she could, but was unable to keep it alive for Phoenix.
Jessica Taylor with the serve, and going in between the block that time was Freemark, and the double block just didn't close, so able to hit it in between the two blockers. Now it'll be Julissa Carrizosa to serve it away. Valdez, the pass to Taylor. Good pass that time, and she gets it to Smith in the middle, and Jasmine Smith hammering this off the hands of a Phoenix Bear for the point. So Gauchos not going away quietly here in the second set, down 23-12. And Coach Stuck going to chat with Kylie Smith now on the bench, probably getting her prep for that third set, as this one in on the corner from Freemark as she just went cross court from the weak side. And now within one are the Bears.
And Jasmine Smith pushed in for, if that ball went off the block, she would have been there to pick it up, but because nobody was there for the block, it just went over her head and into the right corner.
Dig by Valdez in the middle of the court. Defer looking for the tip into the campfire, played well by Carrizosa. Now a set for Tregaboff on the strong side. Didn't get a clean hit on it. Looked like she timed her jump maybe a little too early, and Taylor looking for the dig, but this one underneath the net. And that'll do it for the second set as the Bears come back after losing the first set and take the second one 25-12. For Glendale in that set, it looked we talked about the Bears being a little flat in the first set. It seemed the energy was kind of sucked out of Glendale that second set. In the first set, we saw them fired up. Everyone on the bench was standing up, cheering for their teammates. In this one, it was a little more low-key. I think for Glendale, it's going to be a matter of getting that energy back. Hey, we win this game, we're in.
Yeah, if they win this game, they're in. You do not want another team in conference, no matter who it is, to control your fate to try to get into the playoffs. And especially when you're at home, this is your rivalry game here. Glendale and Phoenix is definitely a big rivalry. And so you need to win this right now. Do not let your crosstown rival beat you at home in a game where you need to win to make the playoffs. But for Glendale, like you said, the mindset you have to have is, yeah, we lost by 13, but it's only one where it counts. And so we're all right back to zeros. And, I mean, really, it's like a playoff series. Obviously, playoff baseball time, but it's basically a best-of-5 playoff series. Yeah, you know what? You might get blown out in one game, but that's one game. When you start the next game, right back to zero. And so all that matters is you have 3 wins at the end of the night rather than more points necessarily than the opponent.
Yes, as you talked about the rivalry, got to be a little bit of a rivalry here for Coach Stuck. 2 of her former players, Trisha Melfi and Haley Christiansen, the 2 coaches for Phoenix, were former players of Coach Stuck, so you know she wants to get the win tonight. In order to...
Yeah, and Haley Christiansen, the assistant coach on Phoenix College, was a part of that 2014 National Championship team. If you look, those of you who have been to the gym here at Glendale Community College or even listening after coming to this game, if you look on the banner of the championship team, she's in the middle, the one right next to the trophy. The trophy's kind of blocking her one arm, so she gets to come back here and see her face still plastered around the school with the national championship trophy. So I'm sure it's a thrill for her right now. And she was an assistant coach last year with Phoenix College, so it's, not a first year and, not necessarily a starstruck moment, but it's still cool to see, when you win a national championship here, you get to come back and you get to see her face still up in the gym and your accomplishments. So it's got to be cool for her to see. But for Glendale right now, they're hoping she's on the losing side of things when this night ends. But we'll be back in about 30 seconds for the 3rd set here from Glendale Community College. Phoenix and Glendale all tied at 1. Welcome back here to Gauchos live stream. Glendale and Phoenix deadlocked at 1 in sets. And it's going to be Kylie Smith to serve for Glendale. She gets the signal. Now it's going to serve left to right. It's a jump serve, and it's going to get back there to Kylie Sosa. That's Julissa. And now she's going to get it right back, and she swings it to Jasmine Smith in the back row. Now it's a swing by Montoya, and a one-inning dive attempt by Jennings isn't going to be enough. And the score now 1-0, and it looks, just even from that first point, I know it's a long set, but it looks like Glendale's back to playing the way they were in that first set. Now here's a serve from Kylie Smith. It's to Julissa Sosa again. She's going to get another opportunity. She swings it, gets to Valdez. And it looks like Valdez may have been going down a little early. And the score now tied at 1.
Yeah, booming hit that time from Sosa. Even though Valdez, maybe she did go down a little bit early on that one, but that's going to be a tough one to dig no matter what you do.
And now here comes a serve from Phoenix. It's from Coffeen. Now a set up to trigger ball thanks to Kylie Smith. It won't get down. And now there's a swing to the back row, and it falls in between Valdez and Jasmine Smith. The score now 2-1.
That's Jasmine Smith's ball right there. When Valdez is playing in the middle of that back row, her responsibility is the back and the corners. As counterintuitive as that may seem, Jasmine Smith needs to pinch in and get that ball.
Now Kylie Smith has to get another ball to the net, and La Liberty can't get a great swing on it. Now there's a swing, and it's going to go to a back corner, where it looked like Kylie Smith may have moved over and pinched up a little bit. Now the score is 3-1. So Phoenix College starting right where they left off in the second set. And now serving is Coffeen. She gets the serve over. Jasmine Smith handles it, gets it to Kylie Smith. Now to Montoya, who swings it into the block. And now it's a free ball for Phoenix. And that's going to get down. Oh, there's a little dispute. One line judge set in, one line judge set out, but the one that matters the most is the one on the baseline, or at least on the same side of where the ball hits. And so it's out of play. It looked like it was in, but right down the line is the official, and he made the call, so it stands, and it goes in favor of Glendale. Now Kylie Smith over to Jasmine Smith. That's not going to get down thanks to Soto, but it's a free ball for Montoya. She knocks it home. The score now tied at 3.
Good work by Montoya. You can see it sometimes where when you get that ball just kind of slowly tumbling over the net, it's easy to get over anxious and go up and try and swing on that one too early. She had perfect timing on that.
And we saw that earlier as that ball's going to get wiped off the block and out of bounds for Phoenix College, and they go up 4-3. We saw that last set where Tregoboff got a little overzealous with a free ball and just tried to knock it home and get it kind of placed her shot and went out of bounds. So Montoya, good composure to knock that home. As now Valdez is going to handle the serve to Kylie Smith. Now to Jasmine Smith, and she'll knock that one to the court. Now we're tied at 4, so we saw dominance by Glendale in the first, dominance by Phoenix in the second, and right now it looks like we're going to have back and forth. I guess if logic's going to go that way, you would think two sets dominated by each team is going to lead to a very competitive third, fourth, and potentially fifth set. Now Soto handles the ball, gets it over, and now it's going to be a swing that's not going to get down from Freemark thanks to Glendale's defense. Now it's going to be set up there for Freemark, and she knocks it down. And what I'm impressed there is Freemark was standing still, and I had no idea where that pass was going. It looked like it might have came back towards the table here, but because it was set and Freemark started moving to the right after the set, the block was able to get there in time. Now there's a serve from Julissa Carrizosa. Kylie Smith to Jasmine Smith. She swings, and that's going to get down. And Melfi still unhappy with the officiating so far. Either way, the score's tied 5-5. Now here comes the serve, and it's barely going to get over the net. And that time, it's going to be Defer who places it right where nobody's standing, and the score is now 6-5 Glendale.
We don't see Montoya's serve wasn't a great one, but the pass going right back the other way, and you know Katie Defer was having none of that.
And now it's going to be another chance for Freemark. She hits into a block, and now Julissa Carrizosa has to run over. She gets it out, so it's going to be Freemark again. That's out the block, and that diving attempt by Julissa Carrizosa as that ball is coming towards the table, and she dug it out. Now the ball is going to fall, but I am amazed at Carrizosa's effort. She ran all the way over, and I thought that ball was down for sure. I thought it was out of her reach, but she punched it up, and Phoenix was able to get it over.
I was already admiring the two nice blocks from Glendale, and then Carrizosa showed him with that terrific dive, but Glendale ends up getting the point.
Now a swing off the top of the block, and it's going to be Glendale with an attempt, and Montoya swings too far of the back baseline, and the score now 7-6. Serving is Jamina Carrizosa. Carrizosa, line drive serve there to Valdez. Now it's a 50-50 ball, and Kylie Smith pushes it over. Now there's a swing that goes off the block, and because it went off the block kind of weird. Diving was Montoya and Valdez. And the score now tied at 7. Now it's going to be Jamina Carrizosa. She gets the signal. Is going to serve it again. That's going to go right into the net. She's been trying those line drive serves all night, and that one line drived into the net. Score now 8-7.
That one had a little bit of a strange spin on. It wasn't hit all that hard. I think she may have mishit that one.
I mean, it sure seemed like it. Oh, and an ace for Tulisa Valdez as everybody on Phoenix watched it hit the back before it went out of bounds. That was actually Jasmine Smith, excuse me. We'll see if she can do that again. We've seen her send some fireballs over the net. She gets the signal, is going to do it again. It's another liner. Oh, and Usoto, I think, learned from last time. It was a free ball, but Kylie Smith going to get down. Now there's a swing that gets into a block. That was Julissa Carrizosa on the swing, but Phoenix going to get another opportunity. And Valdez couldn't handle it like you talked about. It's all about putting your thumbs down to try to make sure that doesn't go over your head when you set it up to save it. Unfortunately, that one does go over her head, and the score is now 9-8. Now the whistle, and it's going to be Emily Jennings. Her jump serve goes to the back. It's Montoya who handles it, gets it over, and now it's going to be Defer on the swing, and it's going to get down. Don't know what the call was. Not exactly sure what the call was, but either way, it's going to go in favor of Glendale.
I'm not sure if there is a call or not. Either way, it got down cleanly, whether there was a call or not.
Well, it looked like they blew the whistle, and there was going to be a double hit. But prior to that one, it looked like they called a violation. It looked like it was on the libero, Jamina Carizosa, and I don't know if she pushed up too far or what happened, but...
Yeah, I didn't see if she jumped or not. As a libero, you're not allowed to, at least on the swing, leave the ground.
And so now Phoenix College is going to handle another serve from Jasmine Smith, and that's into a block off of Law Liberty's hands. And Glendale now starting to pull away, 12-8. And now it is going to be Valdez to serve, but we're going to get a timeout first. So Glendale, after a tough second set, they're going to get a timeout forced by Phoenix as they own a 4-point lead in the third set. 12-8, Glendale. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream. Welcome back here to Gauchos live stream. 12-8, Glendale in the third set. Set's tied at 1. Glendale wins. They're into the playoffs. Now the signal and the serve from Talisa Valdez. Handled there by Usoro. And now there's a swing from Carizosa. Now it's perfect. She jumped up like she was going to swing it hard, and instead she just tips it over the block and into the campfire. Score now 12-9.
Excellent vision that time. She saw that the back row was playing a little bit back and was able to find the open court.
Now here's a serve from Usoro. Handled there by Jasmine Smith, the Kylie Smith, and now a good swing there by Tregaba. Goes up the hands of Jamina Carizosa, but into the stands. The score is now 13-9. Here comes the serve from Kylie Smith. And she's going to get it over the net, and it's right at Usoro. She can't handle it. And a little tip down. Oh, and it's going to be a net violation because when Carizosa dived after it, she rolled into the other side. But that is two spectacular plays by the sophomore from Greenway High School, Julissa Carizosa.
Yeah, Tregaboff a little upset with herself. She didn't kill that one as much as she wanted to. Like, usually when you get one of those balls, you want to put it down hard. Wasn't able to do it that time, but the Gauchos still get the point.
And now there's a swing from Liberty off the top of the block, and it's handled by Jamina Carizosa. Now there's a swing, and it's handled by Valdez, even though there was no block. Now it's going to be Montoya. That's into a block, and that gets down for Phoenix. The score now 14-10. And Lisa Stuck very displeased at what she saw.
Really nice block by Julissa Carizosa. Very clean, strong hands, perfect timing, and right where she needed to be.
Now Kylie Smith gets over to a ball that was dug out by Valdez, and Phoenix is going to get a free ball. There's a swing, and that's too far. And Carizosa doesn't think so, but what matters is the white shirt said it was out of bounds. And now Glendale 15-10, and Melfi, her message right now to her team is keep working. And that's never a bad message to give your team. As now here's a swing from Carizosa, and that's going to get down. And right now it seems like Glendale's blocks are missing somewhere. What's going on?
Well, we saw the play where they had two in a row. Those were terrific. That one just going up a little too early, and Carizosa just able to hit it over the block.
Now it's going to be a swing over the net there by Tregaboff. Here comes a swing from Carizosa again, and Valdez is going to go over to it. She gets it. Now it's Tregaboff, and she gets it over. Now they're going to set up Carizosa again, and that gets down, and the blocks are not getting up on Carizosa right now, and I imagine that's what Coach Stuck is going to talk to her team about. So 15-12 here in the third set. Glendale still leading, but Phoenix making a charge.
Yeah, the blocks aren't there, but give some credit to the setter, Valdez, as well as Carizosa. These are perfectly placed balls that are very hard to block. Getting the perfect height. Carizosa's timing has been perfect in order, even if the block isn't perfect, she's able to hit it just above it. if they come in too early and they're falling down already, or if they come in too late and are just coming up, she's able to get it above the blocks thanks to perfect sets and really good timing.
Yeah, we'll see if Coach Stuck can get her blocking back to peak performance. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream. 15-12, Glendale leads the third set. Welcome back to Gauchos live stream. Glendale leading the third set 15-12, but Phoenix starting to make a push. And that's been blocking. That's the issue for Glendale here in the third set. Let's see if they can fix it. As now handled there by Tregaboff, and Glendale's going to get it over the net. Dug out by Cody Sosa. Now there's a swing and there's a block. Now Kylie Smith gets it to Montoya. She swings at the middle block and it gets down on Glendale's side. And Trisha Melfi liking what she's seeing from her team right now. It's 15-13. Here comes the serve from Isabel Valdez of Phoenix. She's serving right to left, and here's her jump serve. It's to the back row. Jasmine Smith handles it to Kylie Smith. Now Jasmine Smith hits it, and Phoenix digs it out. Now there's a punch there by Julissa Sosa. That doesn't get down thanks to Triggerboff. And now Smith handles it, and now Liberty knocks down a free ball. And the score is 16-13, and that's exactly what Glendale needed.
Yeah, that always gets the team fired up when you can just hammer one home like that, as La Liberty did on the errant pass there. And now with extending this lead to 3 points, she'll go back to do the serving.
Here comes La Liberty, like you said, the one who knocked that point down, and instead she's going to give it right back to Phoenix. And the score now 16-14. Here comes the serve for Phoenix College. It's Cody Sosa, Julissa, that is. Handled there by Tregaboff. Kylie Smith has to wander all the way back to get to it. Now Jasmine Smith hits it over. Now there's a swing. And unable to handle it there for Glendale was Tregaboff, and the score now 16-15. And we've seen Glendale all season run into this, where they get into the middle part of a set and they're just unable to continue what they started. And now Julissa Cody Sosa, it is a lob serve. Now Kylie Smith sets it up for Montoya. That's not going to get down. Now Phoenix is going to have to send it over on the third hit. That's Cody Sosa. And it's going to be Valdez to Kylie Smith. Now to Jasmine. Smith swings it. That went off the top of the net. That was kind of odd, but it worked. As now there's a swing by Usoto. Good job there by Triggerboff to keep it alive. Now it's Valdez who gets it over. Handling it is Jennings. Now there's a swing that's going to get down from Friedmark. And we're all tied here at 16.
Jennings to Valdez to Freemark. A perfect pass to a perfect set, and then the big swing there. Unstoppable when you can do it like that.
Now here comes the serve from Cody Sosa. It's set up, and now there's a swing by DeFur. That's not going to get down, and the ball hits the net and falls. So the score now 17-16. And for Glendale, it's all about maintaining right now, and they need to find a way to get back to the way they were dominating in the first set. Now we're going to get a substitution. Montoya's not going to be served. It's going to be Glidewell, and it's good to see her back. She missed the last 2 games with a right kneecap dislocation, the same knee she had 2 ACL surgeries on in 2 years, and it was more about the swelling than it was the pain. They were able to get it down, and she's back, but she is wearing the brace she wore after ACL surgery. Now there's a swing there by Tregaboff that doesn't get down, and Phoenix is going to get an opportunity. It's tipped by Freemark, and that gets down. And for Phoenix College, what I've noticed is they're not just always going up and swinging hard. They're reading the defense pretty much in air, and they're able to adjust to what they see.
Yeah, when the blocking isn't perfect, you have plenty of time and the ability to read the defense like they're doing right now. And this one blocked at the net by Usoro as the set was tumbling that way. And now the Bears take a lead 18-17.
Yeah, Glendale, who was once leading 15-10, is now at a 18-17 deficit. As now there's a swing that goes off the top of the block, and Phoenix handles it. Now there's a swing from Henry Usordo that doesn't get down. Now it's up, and there's a swing that goes up the block and down. And the score tied now at 18. And so it's going to be another serve for Glendale. It's going to be Jasmine Smith this time. She serves left to right, and Jasmine Smith gets it over, and that goes off the chest of Henry Usordo, but it stays alive. Now Kylie Smith with the tip. That's not going to get down. It's dug out by Valdez. Now a swing into a block. It's down, and Glendale regains the lead, 19-18.
Yeah, it kind of started bad for the Bears with the errant pass, and Glendale able to get the clean hit, but just a solid point for Glendale, letting the Bears make the mistakes.
Now Jasmine Smith over the net. Cade Sosa handles it. And here comes a swing, and it's to the back, and it's handled well there by Valdez. Now there's a swing into a block, but Glendale's able to recover. And now it's Jasmine Smith who hits the antenna. And now we're tied at 19, and a lot of energy being shown by Melfi right now. Her team needing to win 2. And it'll be a great step in getting there if they can defeat Glendale, as the antenna comes loose after that swing by Jasmine Smith, and they're trying to adjust it. And so right now Glendale tied at 19. And like we talked about, if they end up tying with Phoenix, they need Scottsdale to finish first to get in, because if Mesa finishes first, Phoenix owns the tiebreaker over Mesa. And so that's why you want to win this game right now. You don't want to put it in the hands of Phoenix College. And because Glendale lost both games to South Mountain, even if it was a 3-way tie with Mesa finishing first, South Mountain still beats out Glendale. Now there's a set and a swing, and Valdez handles it. Now Kylie Smith over to Tregaboff. She can't get it down. Now there's a free ball, and it's going to go Phoenix's way, as it looks like DeFur did interfere at the net. Now the score is 20-19, and serving again is Jennings. Jennings gives the ball a couple of bounces, is going to serve again. It's a jump serve, it's a line drive, handled there. And now there's a swing that hits the block, and there's going to be a violation. And it might have been another jump by Cade Sosa, like you said, can't leave your feet. And so it's a violation. The libero, that is, can't leave their feet on the swing. Because now there's a serve, that's a good one from Valdez, but handled well by Phoenix College. There's a swing off the block, and it goes straight up. Now Phoenix handles it. Now there's a swing that goes off the block, and Valdez comes in, but he's going to give a free ball. And swinging into a block. La Liberty times that perfectly. And that was actually Kylie Smith who got to that. Jumped up there, timed it perfectly, hit the block, and we're at 21-20.
Perfect play by Kylie Smith. Really unbelievable there with the pass going over the net. Usually that's going to just be thundered home by the other team, but Kylie Smith really wanted to win this game. She goes up and gives the extra effort. Good, nice play by Tregaboff to get to a miss hit by La Liberty. Now here's Usoro. Smith with a joust with Usoro, goes back to the side of Glendale. Now Tregaboff on the weak side, or I should say the strong side, pardon me. Can't get that one to go. She goes with the tip. Played off the hands of Jennings. Now a dig by Jasmine Smith. Valdez in the backcourt. Sets up Tregaboff. And it's dug out by the Bears. And a booming hit that time from Valdez, but it's out of bounds. And the Gauchos take a 22-20 lead after a big rally.
Yeah, and Glendale right there. Not only were they blocking a lot better, but they're also getting the balls, digging it out. We've seen Valdez this season struggle to get the balls. Not necessarily her fault, but if you're going to be a championship team, sometimes you just got to reach those balls that seem impossible. And she did in that rally right there, keeping it alive. And Glendale now holding a 22-20 lead here in the third set in a huge game with definitely Phoenix's season on the line. If they lose, they're out for sure no matter what happens on tomorrow night. But for Glendale, a win, and they're in. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream with the remainder of the third set. Welcome back into Gauchos live stream. Glendale leading the third set, 20-20, 22-20. Not easy for me to say, huh? And 1-1 in sets. As now there's a swing by Valdez. That's not going to get down thanks to Soto. Now Sordo's going to get set up. It's off the block, and Kylie Smith handles it. And now there's a swing. Oh, and it's stuck out well by Cody Sosa. And La Liberty couldn't knock that down. Coming over there was Valdez. Now it's going to be handled by Glendale for a free ball. There's a tip. La Liberty can't get it down thanks to Isabel Valdez. Now a swing into the block. I think he's getting another opportunity. Handled by Jasmine Smith. Kylie Smith with the tip trying to go to the campfire, but it's put out there by Cody Sosa. Now it's a same move trying to go to the campfire. Now Glendale sends it over. Going to be a free ball. Valdez. Kylie Smith. Now to Tregobov. That's not going to get down thanks to Jamina Cody Sosa. And Usordo sends it over. Valdez to Kylie Smith to La Liberty. And that goes over to Julissa Cody Sosa's hands. And we're at 23-20.
I thought the last rally was going to be the best rally of the game. I was proved wrong the next point. Tremendous rally between both teams, saves on both sides, but the Gauchos able to pick up the W. And that's what you got to do to win games like this, is win those long rallies, as the Gauchos did there.
So Valdez gets her serve over, and Cody Sosa gets it over. Now Jasmine Smith has to handle it, and Glendale has to send it over. Good swing there by Tregobov on the back row, having to lean back, and the swing off the block by Cody Sosa gets down. Now it's 23-21 in favor of Glendale.
Interesting strategy from Coach Stuck here. She's having all three of her front row players go up for the block. So all three are playing the block in the middle, which does leave a little bit of a hole in your defense, but you can definitely get some better blocks off of that play.
And that's a serve that goes out of bounds from the libero, Jamina Carrizosa. And Jasmine Smith playing a dangerous game there. That was coming to her, and she kind of had to make a weird move to make sure that didn't touch her before it went out of bounds. Either way, it's 24-21 in favor of Glendale. Set point. Kylie Smith gets it right to Jamina Carrizosa. Now here's a swing from Julissa Carrizosa. Kylie Smith going to set up Tregobov. That's into the block. Valdez digs that out, and Montoya bumps it up, but she bumps it a little too far, unfortunately, and now it's 24-22.
Although the Gauchos didn't win the point, take nothing away from Talisa Valdez. Off the block, this one came back her way, was able to make a terrific diving dig. Great awareness and athleticism to make that play.
Now here comes the serve from Coffeen. Now it's Kylie Smith gets it over, and there's a swing that's too far. That one was from Montoya. Now it's 24-23, and we're going to see a timeout from Coach Stuck.
Yeah, if you're Coach Stuck, you're telling your girls right now, end it here. We don't need this set going into extra time. Let's just end it right here. We can 24-23, let's make it 25-23, and send this one to the fourth set.
Like you said, Glendale needing one more, and they're really wanting it right now. We've seen them have to play from behind 2-1 before, and it's not too great. We'll be back in about 50 seconds for the fourth set here on the Gauchos live stream, or for the remainder of the third set, I should say. Glendale 24, Phoenix College 23. Welcome back to Gauchos live stream, 24-23 in favor of Glendale. And they need this one to clinch. Here comes the serve from Coffeen, handled by Jasmine Smith to Kylie Smith. Now there's a swing, and it's going to get down. That's from Tregobov. And we're at 25-23 in the third set. Glendale now leading 2-1. And even though we just came back from a timeout, we're going to go back into another one. This one a little more prolonged, as Glendale 25-23 in the third set, now lead 2-1. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream.
A battle for the playoffs here at Glendale Community College. Gauchos and Bears going at it, and should they win it, it would send the Glendale Gauchos to the playoffs. Ethan Jordan, Seth Askelson alongside you here as we get ready for the fourth set with the Gauchos up 2-1, looking to send themselves to the playoffs. We'll begin things as Sevion Henry Osuro will do the serving for the Bears. Osuro a little bit quiet in that second set after a solid first set for the Bears, looking to amp it up here in the fourth. Smith will set to Montoya. Montoya rolling this one off the top of the block. It finds its way to the backcourt. Going to be a free ball for Glendale. Jasmine Smith with the dig to Kylie Smith. Going to the strong side, and Tregoboff, a good set. Tregoboff is played by Carrizosa. Great dig by Kylie Smith on the other side. Back to Tregoboff again. This one blocked. Valdez there for the rebound. Now it's Liberty looking for the back corner, dug by Carrizosa. Another free ball coming for Glendale. Valdez, Smith going into the net. Set up for Montoya, blocked at the net by Coffeen. Now it's Tregoboff on the strong side looking for the tip down the line, dug by Jennings. Back to the other side and Carrizosa with the tip. Now Smith to Liberty, the tip played on the backhand by Valdez, but she can't make the play, and that'll be a point for Glendale as they win a long rally to take the first point here in the fourth set.
Like you said, you thought the best rally, that was last set. It was the point before that, and I don't know if that's the best rally of the game, but another long rally, and it seems like the longer rallies go, the stronger Glendale gets.
Swing by Valdez off the serve from Jasmine Smith is into the net. And now 2-0 Gauchos, or excuse me, off the serve from Tregoboff, as Alexa will set up for her second serve of this set. Osuro with the dig. The setup goes to Coffeen on the tip. Tregoboff's just going to send it the other way. A free ball here for the Bears. Coffeen looking for the middle of the court. Tregoboff's there for it. Now to Smith. Liberty with the 2-set. Off the block. The referees say it was tipped, and now 3-0 Glendale. We saw the Gauchos get off to a strong start in the third set. However, the Bears were able to work themselves back into that set as the serve from Tregoboff is wide and left. And that'll be the first point as the Bears break the seal here in the fourth. 3-1 Glendale in the fourth set, up 2-1. Trying to work their way into the playoffs here. Coffeen's serve is into the net. And a couple of service violations already in this fourth set.
Yeah, and for Phoenix College and Coffeen, we saw her at the end of the third set get a crucial service error, and she does it again, and for Coffeen struggling to serve tonight. That's Liberty not struggling right there. That's an ace off the hands of Osuro, and we've seen that a lot tonight as Osuro really getting picked on.
And for Courtney Liberty, her serve has gotten better. It's a great progression over the season. At the beginning of the season, they would oftentimes pull her for the libero or some other player when it came time to serve, but now hitting aces, as you said, Seth, and serve. Just one part of this progression for this young team has been Courtney Liberty's serve. 5-2 Glendale now as the hit out of bounds, and getting set to serve it away is Isabel Valdez. Valdez into the jump serve from her strong side, and rolling off the dig from Valdez and out of bounds. And now the Bears within within 2. Valdez from the strong side for the southpaw. Now here's Smith setting Montoya. Montoya just going to punch it over the net as she kind of got tangled up with a player in the backcourt. Montoya trying to put this Defer with the joust in the net. Excellent play by Defer as the pass was right on top of the net. And Valdez not sure whether to go with the dig or the bump or the hands. Went with the hands, and it falls right through.
And Valdez, that's 2 in a row that she's struggled with, and I don't know if that's just a lack of mental focus or what, but she really needs to get into this game, especially when her team needs this set victory to get some postseason action.
Back row swing by Tregoboff, dug out by the Bears. Tregoboff going towards the line. Valdez sliding into the Gauchos bench. Was able to get a hand on it, but not able to hit it the other way towards the bench rather than back towards it. Tough play there, and we're tied at 5. Valdez came all the way from the other side of the court to try and make that play. As here's Smith, a set for Defer, who reaches back behind her to get that one. Smith there for the tip. Now Smith goes back towards Jasmine Smith. Jasmine Smith looking for the line as it's Carrie Sosa making the play. Defer with the joust at the net, and she's going to win this one to give the Gauchos the lead, 6-5.
And it was very interesting by Defer. She made that play and she got it over, and there wasn't any yelling or screaming or jumping. It was pretty much business as usual. She turned around almost annoyed at that play more than anything. But that's what Glendale needs right now. They need to be all business, because if they can get this set, they can start having the postseason party.
Defer with a swing there. That one went off her hand awkwardly, but went over the net. Free ball for the Gauchos. Smith will just put it back over herself, jumping up. Kylie Smith with the left hand. Finds nothing but court there in front of Carrie Sosa. Excellent play by Smith. Especially on a free ball, you're getting ready for the big swing on the other side. So when the setter comes up, you're kind of on your heels. Excellent play by Smith as the serve out of bounds. And it'll go back to the Bears. The Gauchos now up 7-6. Julissa Carrie Sosa with the serve on the way. Jasmine Smith steps in front of Valdez to get the dig. A Defer on the weak side, hammers it cross court, but dug out by Jennings. Julissa Valdez playing it off her hands. Defer going back for the bump. Kylie Smith, the joust to the net, going back to the side of the Gauchos. Set for Jasmine Smith. The block into the net from Jennings. This one back the other way. Defer going back, and that'll be a point for the Gauchos, and a little more emotion this time from Katie Defer as she hammered that one back home. 8-6 Glendale.
And Melfi giving the officials a real hard time all night. And I mean, I think she has some legitimate gripes. I think what she's been asking for has been legitimate, but I wonder if there's a block there by Defer. And like you said, she's getting fired up, block by block, point by point. But it just seems like at a certain point, I wonder if the officials are just going to kind of get tired of her yelling that much, as we see Lisa Stuck really picking her spots and Melfi kind of picking at anything.
And Defer will hammer this one. It looked like it may go out of bounds, but it goes off the hands of Julissa Carrie Sosa. And Katie Defer, 3 points in a row here for the Gauchos. And Jasmine Smith serve into the net. And now a 10-7 lead for Glendale.
And very loud, audible frustration by Coach Stuck, and that has to be a season's worth of frustration, as even though game by game it is getting better, the service errors are what have really killed Glendale in a couple games.
Jasmine Smith's hit, scraping off the net. A diving attempt at it by Carrie Sosa after the weird spin off the net. It's in vain as it falls out of bounds, and now 11-7 Glendale. Julissa Valdez will step back to do the serving now. From just to the right of center court. Dug by Usuro. And La Liberty and Smith going up for the block, but this one, normally when you see a wipe, it goes off to the side close to the blockers, but this one went all the way to the other side out of bounds, but the point to the Bears. Here's Jennings now. She'll serve it away on the jump serve. And some indecision there from Jasmine Smith as she went with the hands rather than the bump there. That one a little too low to be using the hands that time for Jasmine Smith.
And like you said, I think there's just a little indecision right now. We saw Valdez twice on that and Jasmine Smith once, so you got to make up your mind, especially when you're getting into crunch time.
Kylie Smith, an excellent diving play. La Liberty trying to put it back over the net. And Carly Caffine sending it back home. A tremendous play by Kylie Smith to even get to that ball. Period. And hold on a moment. They're going to call a violation on Phoenix, and the point will go to Glendale.
And it was a net violation because when Phoenix jumped up to get that ball, they bumped the net. They touched the net, and that was a great play. We almost had Tregoboff visiting the commentator's booth here on that last play, and because she was able to get to that ball, it caused that net violation.
It was Smith with the excellent dig, and this one passed the hands of Jasmine Smith. Coach Stuck not happy with the blocking on that play.
Not only not happy with the blocking, but she's given the same instructions that Melfi was giving, is watch the net violation. So both coaches noticing maybe some loose calls on the net, but Glendale did get a net call 2 points ago. Still doesn't take away from the fact that if it's happening, it needs to be called.
This one tipped at the net. Smith will get to it. Here's Tregoboff on the swing. This one tipped in the net by the Bears. Two players collide on the Phoenix side, and the ball into the net, and that'll be another point for the Gauchos.
And right there for Tregoboff, all she had to do was jump up. There wasn't even any contention. She just jumped up, a little flick of the wrist, and the 13th point for Glendale.
And a backcourt hit coming here from Carriososa. Smith to La Liberty looking for the one. Jasmine Smith, great awareness to even be there to hit it back up, but put back down by Carleen Coffeen. It looked like they were trying to set a one for La Liberty, but her jump was a little early, and Jasmine Smith was able to slide underneath and bump it over the other way, but Coffeen there for it to hammer it back home. Coffeen will do the serving now with the Gauchos up 13-11. Jasmine Smith, perfect set by Kylie Smith as she wipes that one off the block. Does Jasmine Smith off the block of Freemark. And the Gauchos now up 14-11. Courtney La Liberty will do the serving, starting at the basketball baseline. Couple of hops, high toss, and the jump serve. Low line drive serve. Set that time for Valdez. Now here's Montoya on the other side. Blocked at the net, back to the Gaucho side of things. Jasmine Smith, a free swing there, and that one out of bounds past the baseline. And a point for the Bears.
And we've seen that from Jasmine Smith this year. Sometimes she just gets so amped up and she sees such a great hit opportunity that she hits it so hard that it goes too far the boundary. And unfortunately that happened there, and the lead is cut to 2.
Tregaboff a backcourt hit as Kylie Smith had to range all the way into the backcourt to get that set. And no one there for the swing from Julius Carriososa as to Lisa Valdez, as well as Tregaboff had pinched up, and it finds the back corner for the point. So here's Isabel Valdez now with the serve. Tregaboff with the dig. Smith. And Defer drops this one in off the hands of a diving Usuro for the point. And the Gauchos lead at 15-13 as Glidewell checks in for Montoya. Glidewell checking in for Montoya will do the serving now. Glidewell a standing serve. Low over the net. Dug out by Carriososa. Now Carriososa will get the set in the middle of the court. Dug by Tregaboff. The set goes to the floor. She wipes it off the block and into the empty court for the point. As Carriososa may have gotten a piece of it, it finds the court anyway, and a timeout called here by Coach Melfi. Gauchos up 16-13 here in the fourth set, trying to make their way into the playoffs. We'll be right back with more volleyball here on the Gauchos live stream. Coming out of the break, Lisa Stuck, one of the more animated conversations I've seen her have with her players. Not in a bad sense, but I think she, as much as these players, can feel how close they are to making the playoffs. There's a lot of doubters for Coach Stuck. How are you going to win with this freshman team, as the serve is off the hands of Jamina Carriososa for the point? And Lisa Stuck, a lot of doubters saying, oh, how are you going to win with such a young team? And she can feel as much as they can, inching closer and closer to a playoff berth. Jasmine Smith will go up on the errant pass and send it back the other way. And the Gauchos now up 5, 18-13.
And miscommunication between both Carricosas as they bumped into each other as they tried to handle that ball. And that was a free ball for Glendale that Jasmine Smith hammered home.
Set up here for Carriososa as she timed it very well, especially on the high set, but was able to find it. Julissa Carriososa hammering that one home. 18-14 Bears now. Carriososa to do the serving. Tregaboff with an easy pass there to Smith. Now Defer on the weak side. Blocked at the net by Freemark. Valdez ranging into the corner. Excellent dig by Valdez. Now here's Tregaboff and mishit that one that time. You could see it on her face and into the net. Nothing egregious there, just a mishit. It's going to happen every once in a while. So Carriososa to do the serving again. Dug by Valdez to Smith. Now Jasmine Smith coming up from the backcourt, hammers this one home as she finds the lane between the Carriososa sisters for the point.
Yeah, and it was Jasmine Smith, who's been playing well this game. We saw her once in the set get a little overzealous, but every time she's going up to swinging, it's with a purpose. And even when she's not swinging hard, she's finding a way to get the ball down.
Carriososa, excellent dig by Glidewell, playing it off the net. Now here's Tregaboff. Easy hit for her. And this one off the hands of Glidewell. Valdez was in position to get that one behind her, but Glidewell just pure instinct going up to try and get that one. The other Carriososa, Jamina, will go back to serve now. Valdez leaning forward to get that dig. Now Tregaboff hammering that one into the hands of Jaleesa Carriososa for the point. And now 20-16, Glendale.
Man, what a hammer by Tregaboff. That was set up, and it was smashed home. And Glendale feeling it right now, 5 points away from the playoffs.
Jaleesa Valdez will serve this one away. Dug out by Usuro. And Usuro coming back for the hit. Dug by Valdez. La Liberty for the one. Didn't hit it cleanly, and an easy dig here for the Bears. Smith will put it back the other way herself, but that time ready for it was Henry Osura as she sends it back the other way.
And unfortunately for La Liberty, I think she was expecting to pass there, so she started to jump once Kylie Smith touched that ball, and because of that, she wasn't able to get to that ball. If she was in a standing position, she might have been able to dig that out.
Well, that's Smith ranging a little bit forward to get that one. Sets up Tregaboff. Dug by Carriososa. And that one into the net by the other Carriososa, Jaleesa, and that'll be a point for Glendale. Timeout called here by Coach Melfi, and we will take a short timeout ourselves. 21-17. Gauchos trying to punch their ticket to the playoffs here in Glendale. The excitement palpable here at Glendale Community College as the Gauchos are just 4 points away from a playoff berth. Kylie Smith back to do the serving here for Glendale. Into the jump serve. Dug by Usuro. And it's Jennings with the set for Valdez. Now Smith will set. La Liberty, who hammers it into the open court. Perfect timing that time from Courtney as she's able to get on top of that one and send it back down right on that midline.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Glendale needs. Meaningful hits, make sure they get down, and their defense right now is exceptional.
Dug by Usuro. The pass, an errant one, back to the other side. Courtney La Liberty mistiming her jumps, just going to have to punch this one over the net. Usuro with a backcourt swing, awkward looking, but was hit awfully hard. Tregaboff with a backcourt swing herself, but this one into the antenna. And now 22-18 in favor of Glendale. And a timeout called here by Lisa Stuck. And we will take another timeout ourselves. 22-18 here in the fourth set. Gauchos up in Glendale. The playoffs just 3 points away here for the Glendale Gauchos. Up 22-18, 2-1 here in the fourth set. Savion Henry Osuro will serve it away for the Bears. Jasmine Smith with the dig. Kylie Smith ranging forward, gets that one. While Liberty not jumping, just kind of knocking that one back over, and it's tipped to the net by Liberty as Valdez coming forward just knocks it back over. And Valdez a diving try at one that may have been out of bounds. Touches it, and now 22-19 as the Bears look to keep their season alive.
That was a perfect bounce. It went off Liberty right to Jasmine Smith, both having to dive and reach back, and it went right to Valdez, who handled it. Unfortunately, Glendale couldn't get the point right there.
Montoya's swing tipped off the block of Caffeine. And this one blocked to the net by Tregaboff, combining with Liberty. Back to the side of Phoenix. Smith with the dig. Montoya will take the serve, and somehow working it over the antenna is Tregaboff, and no, in fact, says the line judge as he says Tregaboff went around the antenna. It looked like it was that way from our angle, and the ref saw it the same way.
Yeah, and they said it went over the antenna, not inside of it, and that's unfortunate for Glendale. All they need is 3 points, and we've seen them struggle to close out sets. What's important is that's the swing into the block, and it gets down for Glendale. What's important is even if they lose a little bit of the momentum, the game's over, so they just need 2 points to close out.
Tregaboff getting the kill on that last point. She's back to serve, looking to close this one out for her team. Carrie Sosa. Set to Valdez. Dig by Tregaboff. Smith to Smith. Tipped up the net. And it's Jennings with the dig. And this one falls in off the pass from Jennings. And the Glendale Gauchos are 1 point away from a playoff berth here in 2017. Serve on the way from Tregaboff. Dug by Usuro. And a free ball for the Gauchos. While Liberty playing it off the hands. The set goes to Montoya looking for the back corner, and it's out of bounds. So the Gauchos will have to lead at least 1 point more here in Glendale. Up 24-21 in the fourth set. 2-1. A win here would send them to the playoffs. Caffein's serve is out of bounds, and the Gauchos are playoff bound here in 2017. Coach Lisa Stuck, in her 21st year as head coach of the Glendale Gauchos, is back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Glendale needed. What we saw in the national championship year 2014. They finished the season under 500. They went to the region tournament, won 3 in a row, won the region, and then went in to the national tournament, won 4 in a row, and finished it off. So the motto for that year for that Glendale Gauchos team is impossible is possible. And that needs to be the motto this year. Yeah, you know what? They're most likely going to be the 4th seed, especially because they dropped a game to South Mountain and they lost both. So unless South Mountain is unable to win their final 2 games and drop to 7 and 8, they'll most likely be the 4th seed, having to play either Scottsdale or Mesa. And for Glendale, it really depends on who they play because of South Mountain. So South Mountain plays at Pima tonight. We do not have a score update tomorrow night, that is. A little odd for us, a Tuesday night broadcast aside from Wednesday. And they play Scottsdale on Friday. So Glendale wrapping up their season really early. And so for Glendale, and I think it just doesn't matter who they play, really, especially for Coach Stuck. She knows she can coach her team to a victory no matter who they play. And even though there might be a team you prefer, when you're a coach, even when they say, oh, it doesn't matter who we play, there's always a team that they prefer. But I'm sure whatever challenge Coach Stuck is given, she'll be up to the task.
Well, I think there's different things that Coach Stuck would like to see if they play either the 3 teams. They do have a win already against Scottsdale this season. On the road at Scottsdale, they were able to take down the Fighting Artichokes. But I think with Mesa, they played them in 2 games, and Mesa could, in fact, be the 1 seed. And when it comes to South Mountain, I think the Gauchos want a little revenge on a South Mountain team that's been able to sneak out a couple victories on them this season.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Glendale, they won't see South Mountain in the first round because Scottsdale has really clinched a berth, and actually taking a look here, they might not have clinched the 2nd seed because they do play South Mountain next week, or this week, and they lost. So it could be the split for them if South Mountain defeats Scottsdale. And so it could be South Mountain with the second seed. I guess seeding doesn't matter outside of number 1 because number 1 hosts the tournament, but it definitely could be huge in who Glendale plays. And for Glendale, it's just all about making sure they get it right. Like we talked about, this team was undefeated at one point. They had won their first 5 conference games. They were on a roll. And, they ended up finishing the season 8-7 in conference. But we know they have the talent, and we know that they can be dominant.
Well, we saw it at the beginning of the year where they started off on a huge win streak, and then we've seen some fatigue kick in, but the adrenaline of the playoffs, anything can happen. If this team plays like they did tonight or like they did at the beginning of the year, I think they have a shot to win this tournament and go to the national tournament. I really do. I think they have the athletic talent, as you said, Seth. There's no doubt about that. I think overall, I think they might have the best team out of these 3 teams. Maybe save Mesa. They do have an excellent all-around team, but for South Mountain, even Mesa to some extent, and certainly Scottsdale, they have certain star players that really help carry them. For Glendale, it's more of a team effort, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, and for Mesa, like you said, their front line is really good, and they use that height to their advantage, but it's not, sometimes height it doesn't always mean good volleyball player, but Mesa has been solid all year. But like you said, it's always a team game for Glendale. It's, they do have the athletic talent. They have stars like Kylie Smith and Jasmine Smith and La Liberty and Tregaboff have really come into their own. But it's, you're not always going to set up one player. And I think that's the beauty for Glendale, is because you never know where it's coming. Even though it's been inconsistent all year, it can be really dominant, whether it be La Liberty, Tregaboff, Jasmine Smith, sometimes even Kylie Smith at the front line.
Well, when you look down the statistics for both the other teams and then for Glendale, you see that the kills are much more spread out. You have Defer, you have Tregaboff, you have Montoya, you have Smith. Even Kylie Smith from the center position gets her kills in as well. So, and La Liberty is, I could not forget her at the middle blocker position, absolutely terrific, especially with the one set. But I think just the spread, how much it's spread out, as I said, you don't focus on one player.
Exactly, and when you can spread it out like that, if you can start to get in sync and make the right play every time and continue to get rallies and gain momentum, you can beat anybody. And so for Glendale, no matter who they play, if they can get that talent to sink in, and I think they're playing well, but they're playing as a team together. It's just about finding consistency in being successful.
Yeah, and a little bit of a bittersweet moment here for the sophomores: Jessica Taylor, Oriana Montoya, Kylie Smith, Taylor Goodwell, and Maya Doyle. I think it's overall sweet as they just made the playoffs, but this is going to be the last game they ever play in this gym. So their last ever home game, as Seth mentioned, the playoffs all hosted at whoever the number 1 seed is gym. So it's the last game for these sophomores here at Glendale.
Yeah, it is, but they'll get to see some more action. It'll just be on the road. So here at Gauchos live stream, we'll update you on the playoff schedule. If Glendale finishes 3rd, they'll be playing at 4 o'clock. This is going to be 2 weeks from now. I believe it's definitely not next week. As we take a look at the calendar here, it'll be November 9th. If they finish 3rd, they will play at 4 p.m. on November 9th at the 1 seed gym. If they finish 4th, they will play the number 1 seed at 7 p.m. at that team's home gym. So either way, we'll have at least a Glendale game for you on Thursday and whatever games they have the rest of that tournament. So any final thoughts tonight, Ethan?
No, it's amazing this team that is so young is headed to the playoff once again, maybe even with the 3 seed. And I'm just excited to bring you guys some Gauchos volleyball, some more Gauchos volleyball, playoff Gauchos volleyball here on the Gauchos live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to tune in.
You're right. So the next time we'll be here for volleyball will be for the Division II Region 1 tournament. For Ethan Jordan, I'm Seth Askelson. Thank you for joining us here tonight on Gauchos live stream. Glendale wins 3-1, punch their ticket to the playoffs, and we will be there broadcasting live. Have a great Tuesday night, everybody.